Hey guys, this is Response doing another video for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about planning your builds according to the map. Um, First, we're going to be talking about using the map you're playing on to determine your build. A lot of players just have all these standard builds and they just kind of um, go in a circle which one they're going to use. They don't really take advantage of what particular build I should say works on this particular map. They just kind of decide what build they're going to do. Doesn't really matter on the map at all. And that's really backwards thinking. That's not really how you should be doing it at all. You should be using the map to determine your build. Because certain maps, some type of play is going to be the optimal on that map. And then another type of play will be optimal on another map. Another thing we're going to be talking about, again, adjusting your play style according to the map. Sometimes some maps just favor being aggressive. Some maps that are real close positions, no ramps, big choke points where there's not much place to defend. That's the type of map that you want to be aggressive on. Maps that have small chokes, that are big maps that take forever, big long walking distances. Those are the maps you're going to be playing more defensive on. You can play a more economical game. And finally, we're going to be focusing on our economy. Basically, I'm going to be talking to you about why most of our builds on 90% of maps, I'd say, should be economical builds rather than the cheese builds or all-in builds. Almost all the time, it's better to play an economical game, especially on the long term. It's going to teach you a lot more. Alright, so we'll just get right into this game here. This is going to be me against Silver. Silver just recently won some tournament or something. He is, and I congratulate him on it. So first off, let's talk about the map. Okay, I do not know what this map is called, but I do know the layout of it, and I do know, like, I've played it on it quite a bit. I just forgot to look up what the map is called. But I do know I have this very easy expansion right here. All I have to do is kill the rocks. I'm sure there is this ramp I have to worry about, but I can get Colossus or get an early shuttle to get up there and to stop any drops on it. And I do know that that's easily defended just because I only have one ramp to deal with and I can expo. So right off the bat, I'm planning on doing some type of fast expansion build where I just kill the rocks very quickly while making sure that he's not moving out, and then I just expand and just play the defensive game, get that early lead by expanding. I would assume most Terran would do the same thing. They would see those rocks, just kill the rocks early with a few Marines, and then drop their orbital command there, and now you have a free expo, basically, and get into the mid-game. After that, after you get out of your main base here, I guess, go down your ramp, it becomes a little harder to play. You do see this huge choke point here to defend. I mean, that is massive. In PvZ, this isn't going to be a very good map to expand on unless you're taking your back base and breaking those rocks, because there's just so much of a choke point. It's just impossible to defend all this area. So basically what I want to do is take this early expansion, since we're focusing on the Protoss vs Terran matchup, and we're focusing on our economy. Just get a strong economy going, kill these rocks off, get that expansion, get both bases running easily. Get a pretty big army here to be able to push out on and defend any big rushes on. Probably a few Colossus mixed in, depending on if I see Vikings or not. Colossus or High Templar depends. And then moving down here and then taking this third base. And going from there, depending on where he's at, I can either break down this gold expansion or this gold expansion and expand. So that's going to be my game plan. It doesn't really matter where he's at, and I can execute that game plan, even if he's the closest position right here, which you probably you don't. He is actually ends up being here. It's still a fairly long rush distance, even with this shorter movement area here, and the ramp pretty much makes it impossible for any rushes to occur, even when I'm expanding like that. So we're gonna go play here. So that's kind of what you want to look for. You want to look when you're looking at maps and what type of builds you want to do on the maps. You want to see how big the maps are, because if you look at okay, we showed those shortest rush distances. If he's cross position, he has pretty much forever to get to my base. I mean, look how much area he has to cross just to get to my ramp. In this space, I mean, it's it's still, I mean, it just takes so long to even get to his base from here. So it's just such a great map to play an economical build on. There's really no reason not to do it. Doing rushes on this map I really don't think is a smart idea at all. And that's kind of what you want to look for. You want to see, okay, is this map good for some type of cheese build? Is there somewhere I can proxy buildings? Is this map good for a fast expo? Is there somewhere I can expo really easily and defend it very easily? And on this map there is. Alright, so I'm just throwing down my pylon. So that's my overall game plan. That's my overall idea of what I'm going to do. Now, how I'm going to get there is dependent on my opponent. So say, I'm going to pause it here for a second. Say I scout my opponent and he's doing a build like a 3 racks marine plus SCV all in. Am I still going to take this expansion here even though he's doing that 3 racks marine build? No, obviously not. I'm going to throw down more gateways. I'm probably going to block my choke off, and I'm just going to defend and win easily that way. Now, saying that I'm going to fast expo here is kind of I'm saying that because that's the plan if he plays standard. If he does a normal build, if he does 3 racks marauder and then text to medevacs or ghosts or whatever, that's going to be the best play to counter that on this map because I have this small choke. So you still have to, saying I'm going to fast expansion, you still have to remember that it's player dependent on how I'm going to pull that off. If I take this expo and then I see him cliffing my natural, I'm obviously going to have to get a dropship or a shuttle a lot quicker. If I take this expo, defend my ramp, get my observer in his base, and I just see he's going 1 base all in, then my initial game plan of taking this third pretty quickly is going to be is not going to be what I'm going to be doing, because if he 1 bases, all I have to do is defend, stay on 2 bases, then finally overwhelm him with units. So basically, what I'm trying to explain is what I'm saying, like in a general sense, is not overall what you always want to be doing. It's still player dependent. Even though we're using the map to decide our build, it's still player dependent how you execute that build. If you guys play poker, it's a lot like how you play poker, and a lot of your moves are player dependent. It's the same idea, I guess, same concept. So yeah, I saw his early SCV, so I'm just assuming he's a left position, and I scout him and